Oh, there you are.
Beautiful. In the Airstream. Test. How's that sound?
Sounds
Good?
good.
You and Oliver talked for 3 hours doing this thing?
Oh my God, yeah.
What did you get into?
He doesn't really have like a program, that he's going through. It's just
Yeah.
fucking all over the place.
I asked him, I said, do you write down like topics that you want to talk about? He's like,
And what do you say?
oh no, I just wing it.
Yeah,
Wing it. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if just wing it is my thing. I'm like more of a like kind of structured, like prepared. Like, I mean, don't get it twisted. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I know that I don't want to do that. You
yeah.
know?
Well, I mean, sometimes we're talking, and you just go,
Right, on a tangent, right?
yeah, and then you gotta reel it back in,
Yeah.
or you forget what you were even talking about
Yes.
10 minutes ago.
So, um, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Tattoo Dreams and Airstreams. What a trip! I never thought that I would be doing a podcast, but here we are
Here we are.
in the Airstream.
Yeah,
Me and the man, Greg Christian. Thank you so much for joining me today, man. I really appreciate that.
yeah. Thanks for having me.
We got to hang out at your shop today. This beautiful shop that you and your wife Cindy have created, and uh, I don't want to say that it's a suburb of Cleveland. What is the name of it?
North Olmsted.
North Olmsted, yeah. And you told me today that your shop that has been there for 19 years.
19 years this year.
Man, so you like really have made like a mark in your area there. You've really created something. You and Cindy. How long have you been tattooing for?
Next year, 35 years.
35 years, man. 5 years is a long time to do anything.
Yeah,
35 years, man. That's a trip.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know where the time went. It's crazy.
It flies by, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like the older you get, the quicker it goes by.
Oh yeah. The last 20
Flew by.
went like that.
Your wife told me her age today, and I'm not going to say it on the podcast. If you guys want to find out,
She's a little older than me.
She's a bit older than you, but she doesn't. Cindy is amazing.
Yeah, she'll run circles around all of us.
Yes, and like I had no idea that she is her age. And man, the amount of tattooing history and knowledge and people that she's been around, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
I grew up in a suburb of Cleveland called Strongsville, Ohio.
Okay, so you're from this area,
So
though.
I'm from here. Yeah.
Wow, man. So they say if you, or what I always heard, if you want to learn to tattoo, don't learn to tattoo where you're going to live
Yeah.
or where you're from.
And I didn't really. I tattooed for about 6 months out of my house, like a home studio.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that tattooed that helped me get some tattoo equipment in 1991.
Right.
And I
I
was lucky enough to, within 6 months of picking up machines, I ended up in a shop in real small town in Northeast Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
I did not think you were going to say that. We were talking earlier about Florida. I didn't think that Tennessee was going to lead you into that direction. For those who are listening who don't know, back in the day, it was very difficult to even get tattoo equipment.
Oh yeah, you couldn't.
Yeah, unheard of. And then to even be able to get into a tattoo shop once you had that equipment, it was just impossible.
Yeah, it was difficult.
Yes.
And I had a friend that was tattooing, and I mean, he helped me out, and he hooked me up with I think we went through National.
Yeah.
And you had to have, you had to work at a shop or have somebody
had to have the hookup
that could vouch for you
or
whatever.
The one person who had the national account, right?
And he helped me out,
That's crazy how much, things have come along nowadays. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast, so we could talk to young people or people that tattoo nowadays and kind of give them a glimpse into A, people like yourself, who they should know, and B, how much different tattooing is just than 10 years ago or 15 or 20 years ago,
Yeah, and you never see it coming, man. You don't see the changes coming, and you think like it can't get any bigger, or it can't change anymore, and sure enough, in 5 years and 10 years, it's changed again.
Yeah. So this friend with the national equipment, you had done some tattoos in a house, and then it led you into Tennessee. From Tennessee, how long were you there?
4 years,
Oh, really?
maybe four,
Okay.
3 to 4 years.
What's the tattoos like in Tennessee at that time?
They were pretty bad.
Yeah,
It was a real small town, and there wasn't a lot of good tattooing. And
yeah.
I had some drawing capability, so
The plot thickens.
you know, I could draw, and I had a little bit of art background. So
Right.
even though maybe my tattoos weren't great and I was still learning, they were better than most of what was out there in that
hmm
area.
You're
You know,
excelling above those
yeah,
guys who, I mean, there's still a place for those people, who don't
yeah,
draw. A pretty important place, like the technicians, But
yeah.
back in that time, to be able to draw, you were like blowing people's minds. I'm sure, right?
Yeah. The old man that I learned from, his name was F.E. Craig,
Okay.
and he learned to tattoo from Gilmani.
Damn.
Um, Effie had owned Southern Fried Tattoo
Okay.
in Ormond Beach,
Okay. Down in
which was like
Florida,
a
huh?
big bike week
Yeah.
scene down there in Florida.
Okay.
And
Near Daytona, then, or
yeah,
okay.
near Daytona. And then when I had hooked up with him, he had left there and he was in Tennessee.
Okay.
So that is the Florida connection
There.
too.
So that leads into our next
Yeah,
connection because we were talking at the shop, and you had told me that you were in Florida down at Tattoo Lou's, which,
yeah,
for those who don't know Tattoo Lou, you should just look him up. I mean, there's
yeah. Luz Cabarras.
Lou Cabarrus, the legend Tattoo Lou in
Yeah,
Miami,
yeah.
and how many amazing tattooers have come from Lou's in that time,
So when I ended up there in '94,
Okay.
and I was still pretty young when I arrived in Miami. I was only 23 years old.
Wow. Back when
So
tattoos were dangerous
when
still.
you're 23 though, you think like you're a man.
Oh, for sure.
You
Yeah.
know what I
You're an
mean?
adult. I'm an
You're
adult.
like, oh,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when I look back at it, I'm like, God, I was a young kid.
I don't even think that I really came into my own and became like a man, like a cognizant, like I'm an adult man until I was like in my late 30s, maybe.
Yeah,
Like that's how far removed. No offense to, and no ageism here for the young folks, but that's how far removed I was from 23 to when I feel like I really came into my own.
yeah,
So that'll tell you something. So you went down there, didn't know anybody, just had the connection to Southern Fried then.
yeah. And that connection was through Effie and Lou.
Yeah.
Because Lou would work at Southern Fried.
Okay.
They had a lot of people coming through there in the late '80s.
I bet.
Um,
Back in the days that networking was so crucial.
Stuff I didn't really know about. I learned a lot from Deb Yarian because Deb was down there
Yeah,
for
from
all that stuff.
Alaska now, right? She's
Yeah,
in Alaska. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So she always fills me in on a lot of stuff that I didn't know about.
Yeah, I've never met Deb. She's been at some shows that I worked at and around. She seems nice. I always just know her from
They're a great tattoo family.
yeah,
Yeah,
and from her the photos of her tattooing Paul Rogers
yeah,
and doing that portrait of Paul Rogers' late wife on his chest.
yeah. It's super cool.
She might have been doing it in his trailer in Jacksonville there, and maybe not at the shop. I'm not sure. That's another story. But so you arrived down there at Tattoo Lou's, and I think that's where you met your wife as well, right?
A little bit later on, yeah. I got there in '94, and so I came from a small town in Tennessee. But I was pretty aware of all the tattooers. Had all the magazines and stuff.
Right,
So when I rolled into there, I was instantly tattooing with all these people I'd been looking at their work in magazines for
right, right.
for 4 years. While
Let's
I was
let's name
learning in Tennessee.
Sure. Let's name a few. Who
Uh,
are you around that you were looking at?
Ken
Ken
Cameron,
Cameron,
Jay Pedro was
legend.
down there then.
Okay,
One of my favorites, and still my favorite to this day, Luis Salgado.
Luis Salgado. What a
Yeah.
name, man.
Albert Scambati was in a transition where he was leaving Miami when I had gotten there.
hmm
Emerson Forth, Frank
Uh,
Ball.
man.
That's where I met Chris Garver.
Okay. Yeah, because
Uh,
that's the link between Lou's and Miami Ink, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody that was at Miami Inc. was at Lou's first. Ami and
Yes.
Nunez and Darren and all those guys.
And now that that Lou is gone, R.I.P. Ken has taken over with the connection there, right? He
Yeah.
married his daughter. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, Michelle.
Yeah. And Ken's one of those guys that's been around forever. But this is what I was going to ask you. You know, arriving there, you've been tattooing for 4 years. You know, I don't. You know, like you can take a person nowadays, a young person can get into tattooing. They could start tattooing, and within a year, they're just like technically ripping tattoos.
Yeah.
You know, I started tattooing in a little 2001 ish or 2000 ish, and I don't think I really figured out how to lay a tattoo for like maybe 5 years, dude. And
Yeah.
people, and I worked at Inksmith. That's where I learned to tattoo, and it was like tattoo school, like be gone, be good or be gone. You know what I mean? But it was so difficult to get good. You know, so you must have had this. You know, you're doing these tats in Tennessee. You're drawing them, so you're like a big dog, and then you come down to Miami and you're working with all these legends. That must have been like a real eye-opening experience for you.
It was kind of intimidating, but I never let that shit
Yeah,
bother me. I would just go into it
sure.
and attack it, you know.
Well, you're right where you needed to be, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, man, just all the guys that were there were real amazing tattooers. So
How
you got a lot to feed off of and learn from.
how about the level of so not as far as intimidation factor. Tattoo shops were intimidating back then, and they were kind of meant to be, you know. But that's not what I mean because you were kind of already in when you got there. So you know, as far as being around those greats, it would be like a little bit nervous for me, but I would be super amped to learn from all those guys, you know? And like you and I know like some people are not teachers at all, you know? If you go to and you like sit down with Chris Garver, Mike Wilson, or like there's certain people who will shape you as an artist just hanging out with them in a day, you know?
Yeah, I mean, just watching those guys work.
Right. You can pick up from them
I
like
mean, you're gonna learn
through osmosis, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think helped you out there the most?
I don't think one particular person. I think just being down there, it was a whole different level
Yeah.
of tattooing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was South Beach. It's
Yeah.
the shop I was at, the South Beach location.
Right.
And it was jamming. That shop was open from 10:30 in the morning till 3 a.m.
Whoa. The 10 in the morning openings. That's what your shop is open. 10 a.m.
Yeah,
10 a.m. till what, 9 or 10?
11.
Oh, 11. That's where you get
Give
the
or
hours,
take.
huh? Give or take.
But yeah, I mean, when we would work the night shift, man, and if a tattoo came in at 2:45 and it was a 3-hour tattoo, you had to do it.
Right.
You know,
Right. If you're paying,
especially if
we're
Lou was sitting there.
yeah. If you're
and,
paying, we're staying.
And Lou had a way to always show up about an hour before closing.
Yeah.
We'd hear his motorcycle pull up.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh,
the old polecat pulling in to see what's going on,
yeah.
right?
So sometimes, I mean, you know, even though the shop closed at 3, you might be tattooing until 5 or 6 in the morning.
Right. The Lou pulling in. Who left early?
Yeah.
Who's supposed to be here and who left early? Yeah, I remember those days. If you're paying, we're staying. When you met Cindy and you guys hit it off there, is that when you officially started dating and became a couple down there?
Yeah, I met her. She was she had moved back. I think she was in New York or something. And she had moved back there and she was working at the shop out in Kendall.
Okay.
And,
which is like the suburbs to Miami, right?
South Miami.
Okay.
That's where Troy Lane worked.
Oh, Troy Lane.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Man, Troy. Forgot to mention him.
I would love to interview him. I was
one of the greatest
for you
down there ever.
to say if he was there. I just didn't know, you know.
But Troy wasn't on the beach. You know, Troy was out at Kendall with Mike Harpool.
Okay. Hey, what about R.I.P. Troy Lane? Man, what a legend. We can do a whole show on him. Another time we could just go on about it. What about another Florida legend, Frank Lee?
Frank Lee was he would come down there. I mean, he was pretty set up at Inksmith.
Yeah.
But he would come down there and tattoo, and so would Wilson. Wilson was down there all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So getting to work with those guys, and I got tattooed by Frank. He tattooed my neck.
Did?
Yeah.
He did your neck?
Yeah.
Which side?
The
baby
the
or
baby? Yeah,
I was,
with my son's name.
you know, what's funny is I was literally talking to you today, looking at that tattoo, and I was wondering who did it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Frank Lee.
it's just straight '90s tat. It's a ripper.
Yeah.
Yeah. R.I.P. Frank Lee. Man, two more greats gone.
Yep.
So you and Cindy, you eventually make your way back up here to your home
Yes.
to start Tattoo Faction. Or?
Like 99.
Okay.
We didn't start the shop right away.
Mm-hmm.
We were working at another shop locally,
Okay.
and there was just issues with ownership and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
things weren't working out, and we decided to go do our own thing.
Yeah.
And I partnered up with Dave Wolf.
Yeah.
Um,
Shout out Dave Wolf. Yeah.
yeah, Dave's another Cleveland guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he's kind of tattooed. He ended up in Tennessee for a while. He ended up in Miami for a while.
Right.
And then he came back to Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
and we worked at that shop together locally. And then in 2006, we opened up Tattoo Faction.
Right. What a beautiful shop you have there,
Thanks.
man. And you know, we have like this connection where we both have children that tattoo as well, like second
Yeah,
gen,
man.
right? So your son tattoos. Shout
Yeah.
out to your son.
He's doing really, really well too.
And so quickly, and not to, you know, disparage his, you know, hard work or whatever. My daughter tattoos, but they get so good so quickly nowadays compared to like where we were at. We were like really scrounging to try to figure it out, you know.
I think they have. I mean, they have access to everything now.
That's it. That's that's it, and it kind of touches onto this this podcast and why I'm doing this. I think because I feel the need to share people like yourself, people that I feel like people should know, um, our group of friends, people who are important to tattooing. And I was listening to this podcast last week that Aaron Della Vadova does. Shout out to him, great podcast. And he was interviewing Philip, right? So Philip Blue, just legend.
Yeah.
And Philip Blue was talking about tattooing and how tattooers drove tattooing. And you have all of these people in tattooing that you know who were leading the forefront of tattooing. And that's kind of went away. There's not those people anymore. And now tattooing is being led, I'm paraphrasing, of course, is being led by the public. Okay. And it's because of the access to everything. Well, you know, I feel as though we should kind of try to take that back. And then if the public is driving tattooing, well, then let's educate the public on what's cool. Because not necessarily everybody is born with what's cool or an idea of it. You can help people out with that along the way, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're known for this really crisp, bold style of tattooing that I really dig. It's like this mix of like esoteric, like Eastern um, religion mixed with kind of like traditional tattooing. You think that's a good way to describe that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think definitely rooted in traditional
Definitely.
tattooing for sure.
Yeah.
Just a little weirder,
Yeah. Well,
wilder.
you have this way about your tattooing that I love, where you can look at it and tell that's a Greg Christian tattoo, and that's saying something in a world of tattooing today. You know, it's like if you look at, you know, realism, no bust on realism, but how do you stand out in that field? If you do it, it looks like that. You know, you can do it well, but to be able to have your art set you apart and to be able to see it and be like, that's a Greg Christian tattoo or art, it's very cool. Um,
Well, thank you.
how do you stay motivated doing that? You produce an insane amount of art as well. By the way, bro, I have one of your paintings in my booth,
Yeah,
sitting right on my counter. You know, your art is so prolific.
I think for me, man, it's the traveling and being around other tattooers and working in different shops, and
Mm-hmm.
that, that's the motivation.
Yeah,
You know,
keeps you focused and
to
keeps
get out there and see the world and
yeah
work with different people.
keeps you hungry.
That's inspiring. You
Right.
know.
Do you you know, like for you with traveling and tattooing, and you've tattooed for so long now. How long did you say you've tattooed for?
34 years.
Goodness. For you at tattooing at 34 years, how many changes have you seen in tattooing?
I don't know, I feel like every 10 years you probably see a big change,
Hmm.
you know.
Do you think it levels back out?
But I think like when I got into it, that late '80s, early '90s generation,
Hmm.
you know, that came into it, like Scott Sylvia and Eddie Deutsch and Guy and all the Primal Urge stuff in
Yeah,
San Francisco.
222 and all that.
Yeah, and all
Yeah,
those things that people were doing these tattoos that no one had ever seen that kind of subject matter before.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
I think that was a time when was probably like a big change from the older guys from the past. You
yeah.
know, that whole generation coming into it. And I think every 10 years you have some kind of big shift one way or another, whether it's the artists that are coming in or with the TV shows and you name it.
What do you think really separates a great tattooer from a regular tattooer? You know, it seems like our circle is growing smaller, but the tattooing world is growing larger. You know, so what do you think really sets them apart, or can help to set them apart?
I mean, I think a lot of it's just the drive to create stuff, you
Yeah,
know,
to create.
and the work ethic and people that want a tattoo. And, you know, there's a lot of guys out there that are just machines when it comes to tattooing, like Trevino, the amount of work
Yeah,
that guy puts out,
right.
you know, and he's just doing body suits now, but he doesn't have a huge internet presence.
No,
A lot of people probably aren't really aware of what he's doing, but I remember in the mid '90s, he had three portfolios that were 6 inches thick,
yeah,
just filled
yes.
with tattoos that were incredible.
In a shop filled with original Don Ed Hardys,
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh.
So I think it's just your drive and ambition
Hmm.
to want to stand out and to be good. And
Got to keep a good mix of a work life balance as well, right? So like to be a like we eat, sleep, and breathe tattoos. It's like we were talking today. It's almost like a religion, you
yeah,
know. Um, but you still want to, I guess, for you, you know, your wife tattoos, so it's easy to keep you there. But what do you do to stay grounded?
and there's a little more understanding
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
being married to a tattooer for sure.
By the way, and Cindy, I think you're at 34 years. I mean, Cindy's even longer, right? So
It's got to be 45, maybe.
it's crazy.
I
That's
think
insane. Yeah.
something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any hobbies or anything you do to,
Motorcycles,
man?
collect old Harleys,
Yeah.
ride old Harleys.
Or knickknacks?
Yeah,
You're a known
yeah.
knickknack
I'm a
collector.
collector
Not a hoarder,
of
a
things.
collector.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you see tattooing as like more of a trade, or like does it have a spiritual connection at all? Like we just kind of,
I think it's all that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think so too.
yeah,
It's really what I mean in your artwork, a lot of spirituality that's put in there, huh?
yeah. You know, we talk about like a lot of people are down on how tattooing is and what it's become, but
Yeah,
I try to focus on the good stuff, man. There's more incredible tattooing happening right now than ever before in history,
yeah,
and we're all a part of it,
yeah.
and that's really cool.
I agree. I think that's why I started doing this too. I want to educate folks, and I want them to know. Like if I talk to like someone that's in tattooing, even 10 years you're new into tattooing, or newer. And if I talk to them and I'm like, oh, do you know who so and so is, or like just Chris Trevino, and people don't know about him, I'm like, man, you should know about him. And there is this kind of negative approach to tattooing now with folks where they're, kids are doing this and blah, blah. I don't really have that approach. They're already doing it, and I agree that there are some people in this industry who have not worked for it, don't deserve it, that are busters, fakes, whatever. But there are, like I was talking with you about the premise for this and the premise for the show, and you said, well, there's a lot of young kids who do care about that sort of thing. They just haven't been exposed to it.
Yeah, there'll always be. I
Right.
think there's always kids that are going to be interested in what we love about tattooing.
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
I didn't really get exposed to like traditional tattooing until I went to Florida,
Right.
which is wild because I don't think a lot of people think of Florida as a real heavy traditional tattoo based place.
I
And
agree.
maybe it's not so much anymore, but it
Yeah.
was then,
Yeah.
you know, and that's where I really got exposed to all that stuff.
Yeah. You can almost see a Florida tat when you look at it and be like, have you worked
Yeah.
at Inksmith or are you from Florida? You
Yeah. I
can
mean, the
almost see that.
Inksmith tattoos definitely have a look.
Yes,
You
definitely.
know?
They
And I
use
think Mike's got a lot to do with that, but so does Eric,
definitely.
you know.
Oh, Eric is responsible for that just as much as Mike is
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
The tandem of those two and the prolificness of the both of them at that shop is just it's unmatched.
Yeah.
Um, Texas kind of has that style though too, man.
Oh, yeah.
You look at those tats and you can just tell that's a Texas tattoo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I was talking with Baron today. Baron's our friend who owns a shop North Shore up in shout out to Baron up in Boston.
Danvers.
Yeah, Danvers. Yeah, not Boston, Danvers, but and I was like, your style doesn't look like you tattoo in the Northeast, bud. Your style looks like you tattoo in Texas. And
Yeah.
he was like, yeah, well, I actually did tattoo there for a couple of years.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so it's funny how you can kind of see that. Um, what you've tattooed through so many eras of tattooing. Which era do you think stands out the most for you?
I don't think you realize how special a time is until it's past, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And the Florida time was really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but honestly, I mean, I love all of it. It's all been great, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, I find like people like yourself that are so easy to be around and have so much to share is like really what we still need in tattooing now. If we want people to be exposed to like-minded people that are in our group, then we need to be open to them. I'm not talking about people who don't deserve, people who are already tattooing, people that we want to educate into it. We don't need to be closed off to these folks. They're already tattooing.
Yeah,
They're already there. The the genie is out of the bottle.
it is. There's
So
no more secrets.
yeah, and we're not putting it back on top. Like the amount of I do wish people would stop apprenticing, folks. Um, yeah, you apprentice your son, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you had any other apprentices?
I helped a couple people out,
Yeah,
over
couple
the years, but
couple of people
but
along the
never
way.
never like a real apprentice.
Yeah, for me, I've never taught anybody except for my daughter.
Yeah.
You know.
Since we've had the shop, Rob Hamilton was there,
Okay, yeah, I know, Rob.
and he
What?
started out as one of our counter guys, and
Oh, okay.
and Rob has become an incredible
Yeah,
tattooer.
yeah.
Yeah.
He has the drive, right?
Yeah, man.
Um, well, I got some quick fire questions here. We'll close out with right. Uh, this is a question that kind of ties in today. Black and gray, or color?
Color.
Color
I
for
love
sure.
black and gray though, man. I spent the first 4 or 5 years of tattooing. All I wanted to do was black and gray.
Sure.
You know.
I remember Mike Wilson talking to somebody whenever I was working with him, and they were, how they always do it the years. They're like, oh, they're getting rid of colors. Colors are going away. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, doesn't bother me a bit. It's like just a step in the process.
I can. I love black and gray tattoos. I really do.
Yeah.
But man, it's so much more of a struggle for me now.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's so easy for me to make a tattoo look good with color
Right.
because I know where to put things to make things stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have that when you're doing black and gray.
Yeah.
You just got to use all the different darks
It's
and
all
lights.
tonal, right?
And it's hard.
Yeah, it's difficult, man. It's
Yeah,
difficult.
it really is.
Those black and gray guys are like, it's really admirable what they do.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I like the ones who use black and gray, but also put artistry with it. So it's not so much of the replication,
Yeah.
a bit of that, but also a touch of their own. Like if you watch Garver do black and gray.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What if you watch Garver do anything,
Yeah.
right? What if you weren't a tattooer? What would you be doing?
I would probably be in the restaurant industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always watch. I was telling my wife before we came up here because we were going to go out to eat with you, and I was like, I bet Greg picks great restaurants because you always post like food photos, and I'm like, man, that's our thing. We go out to eat at these restaurants.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I got into tattooing, I was in the restaurant biz.
Oh, you were?
I cooked at like fine dining establishments. Nothing like
Yeah.
what's out there now.
Right.
But I think I probably would have ended up there.
We share a lot of similarities with food and bev.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like pirate behavior,
Yeah.
Um, so like wrapping up here, I had one last question where it was like, what's your favorite machine setup? I think that's a great question.
Man, there's so many good machines out there.
I know.
There's so many good machine builders. My buddy Chuck Euler is making some real
Shout out
amazing
to Chuck,
machines.
and a great tattooer
Yeah,
too.
his machines are great.
Where's Chuck at? He's around here.
He's a little bit closer to the city than we are.
Okay.
In a little suburb called Lakewood.
Okay.
And his shop's Lakewood Electric. Great shop.
Yeah.
Great crew.
And a great dude.
But he's making really killer machines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, Mike Wilson's machines are incredible.
Yeah.
But I have been on these Ken Cameron machines for probably the last 20 years.
Really? I see him making them, and I always wonder if they're good.
Yeah. It took me a while I didn't use Ken's machines when I was in Florida.
Okay.
And then once I started using Ken's machines, I couldn't believe that I didn't use them sooner. And that's pretty much what I used, on a daily basis.
Love that.
Occasionally I'll use one of Mike's machines or some of the stuff Jimmy's putting out at Lucky's. I like the Bulldog machines.
Shout out to Jimmy.
And I got a couple Aaron Kane machines, but
love that.
I mean, man, there's so many that are so good.
Yeah, but I think that those that you just named right
but
there,
I feel like
all great.
The tattoos that I like the best are the stuff I'm doing with Ken's machine.
Man, I'd love to hear that. I'm gonna have to get a couple.
Yeah, and he's still making them. He just turned 70. I went down there in January for his 70th birthday party.
You did go, and a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Ken's amazing.
Yeah. We're still riding motorcycles.
Yeah, anything he does, he's like really good at it.
Yeah, he gets into it, right? I love that. I respect that.
Yeah, it's cool, man.
Any projects, conventions? I know you're always on the road. Any appearances, things? Maybe you and Cindy are trying to not be on the road for.
Actually, man, she's out there now. She just tattooed at Party at the Pen with us.
Yeah.
I got her traveling a bit. We don't have the responsibility of animals anymore.
Okay.
We haven't had dogs for a few years, so it's enabled us to travel a little bit together.
Oh yeah,
and
Heather and I have 4.
She's got a couple conventions that she likes to work at. She's more comfortable at her station at the shop.
Yeah.
But we get out there, we do some stuff together, and
I think last time I worked with you at Oliver's convention, like I think she might have been the busiest tattooer there, except for maybe Jimmy P.
She always thinks nobody's gonna want tattoos from her, but I'm like,
she's crazy.
And then she's always the busiest.
She's crazy. Yeah. Anything else you got going on? Projects? Anything? I mean, people can always. Where can people find you if they want to purchase one of your paintings or some?
If you're trying to buy anything, we got just the Big Cartel site.
Yeah.
It's the links on my Instagram bio, and there's a lot of stuff on there, flash and paintings and art and T-shirts and whatever. And I'm always out there at conventions all year long. Sometimes the same ones, but we've been trying to do some new stuff. I'm going to do that Norfolk show.
Yeah. JD Crow Show.
Yeah, I've never done that one.
Okay, I'm anxious to hear that. It's in November, right?
Yeah, November.
Well, it'd be nice to take this rig out there and.
Yeah, man. We're doing one up in Rochester, Flower City.
Yeah, so
convention.
I got they hit me up wanting to go there, and I saw that you were there, and I wrote the guy. I was like, all right, what friends of mine are doing it? That's kind of the big thing to me.
I just end up there because there was people I knew there.
That's exactly it.
That was it.
I'm like, okay, listen, a convention's a convention at this point. Are my buds going to be there?
Yeah. So that's how I ended up there. And then I do a big trip up to my buddy Jay Scott's shop, Hobos, in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Every year in October. I'm up there with Steve Byrne and Chad Keplinger.
Chad Keplinger. Shout out to Steve Byrne and
Yeah.
Chad Keplinger. People need to look those guys up for
Yeah,
sure.
and then there's usually a few other guys. Chris Howell usually shows up. Wilson sometimes, but we usually do like a week up there at Hobos every October at Jay's place.
What a time to be up there, right?
It's amazing up there. New Hampshire's is beautiful. That
Yeah.
whole New England area is incredible, and Jay's got one of the oldest shops in New England up there, Hobos. It's been there for over 40 years.
I'll have to stop by there on this tour.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
be in the
killer.
area, so
Yeah, it's definitely a shop worth checking out, and the town's amazing.
maybe I'll have to stop in there and maybe I can sneak a little interview with him. Maybe he'll sit down with me for an hour or so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jay's great, man.
Well, man, this is great. Thank you so much for doing this. My first
Yeah, no
guest.
problem.
I'm honored to have you. I didn't make the announcement on who was going to be the first guest because I knew
Yeah.
it was going to be a hit, man. And
Well, that's cool. I'm glad to do it. It's cool to see that you're doing this, and
yeah,
we'll see where it goes.
we'll see, man. This is the start of the leg, so we're heading out towards like Maine and northern northeast, and we're going to work our way down. So we got some.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we got some things to come, man. So thank you so much, man.
All right, man.
Glad to
Thank
have
you.
you, Greg. Everybody, look up Greg Christian, man. Tattoo Faction.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, it seems good to me.
Think that went okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Gave him the scoop.
Like I like that. Like sometimes, right? It gets too in